to Not on the Payroll right here at notonthepayroll.com. You can check us out at Facebook, check us out at YouTube, and check us out at Rumble. Look for our mascot, which is the gorilla with the red headphones. Why do we have the red headphones on there? I don't know. I just liked it. I thought it was cool, and that's what we've got. We've got some merchandise coming out here before long. If you enjoy this type of communication and these types of interviews and our content, we ask you to go over to YouTube and subscribe, hit the bell, and you can click on that bell and it'll notify you whenever we have new content up. For us today, we have Mr. Wesley Whitman. He is the Democrat candidate for Tyler County. He is running for Tyler County judge seat. Sir, thank you for taking time.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So let's talk kind of right on the nose of the fact that you are the Democrats candidate.
Yes, sir.
Here in the community. Now, when's the last time a Democrat won in Tyler County? Has it been a while?
It has been quite a while. I mean, our current judge is a Republican. Mm-hmm. He was actually the first Republican county judge elected in 2006.
Okay.
So if I get elected, I'll be the first Republican judge elected since...
or first Democrat judge
excuse me, yes.
2006?
Yes, sir. Just about every elected position in our government currently now is a Republican candidate.
Okay.
Now, yes, I am the Democrat.
Right.
But before I'm a Democrat, I'm a son, I'm a daddy,
right.
I'm a peepaw, I'm a citizen of Tyler County.
Right.
My party affiliation is the last of what I am.
Okay.
I'm just an everyday citizen just like you are. I just happen to follow a different party affiliation.
Sure, absolutely. Have you always been Democrat?
I've been a Democrat my entire life. I was raised a Union Democrat.
Okay.
I consider myself a conservative Democrat, like FDR and JFK.
Okay.
But yes, I've been a Democrat my entire life.
Okay, so you wasn't one of these flip-flopping type fellas who changed parties there around 2006 to 2008, something like that.
No, sir.
Wasn't there a bunch of those around here, Tyler County?
There's a lot of it. I mean, back in 2006, we were probably 90% Democrat.
Okay.
Now we are 90% Republican.
Okay.
And while they chose to switch party affiliation, a lot of our elected officials chose to switch party affiliation to get elected, I'm holding true to my party. Now,
sure.
By saying that, I don't believe in a lot of things that the Democrat Party is doing now.
Okay.
But I also believe that by staying in my party, I can fight for what I believe, which is the majority of what Tyler County believes in, and get my party switched back to the way it was.
Okay.
I'm not going to give up on my party.
Right.
And I'm not going to give up on Tyler County either. But
right.
Like I say, I believe in being true to myself.
Yeah.
I mean, there were those that thought that, well, the only way you're going to get elected is to run as a Republican.
Right.
Well, if I would have ran as a Republican, I would have been lying. That would have been the very first lie of my campaign.
Okay.
And I would not have been true to myself. So I want to make sure that I don't lie to the public.
Right.
And I don't want to lie to myself just to get elected.
Gotcha. Okay. So if we're just going to touch just for a second, and I don't want to camp out on this, but just for a second, what are some of the things that you would say you don't align with as far as the Democrat Party?
A lot of your Democrats believe in abortion at any stage.
Okay.
I'm not one that believes in abortion. I mean, me and my wife adopted 2 children.
Okay.
I believe in adoption.
Right.
There are times that, yes, you may need to have an abortion, such as the health of if the mother was going to die, or if there was an ectopic pregnancy or something
right.
like that.
Right.
A lot of people think that the Democrats are against the Second Amendment and want to take your guns away.
Right.
No, this is East Texas. I'm sorry.
Sure.
We like our guns.
Sure.
Those are 2 of the main things.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
those are really kind of fundamental things for the Democrat Party.
Yes.
Because I'll be honest with you, it almost seems like a weird hodgepodge between the Democrats and the Republicans. It's like, somebody said here a while back, they said to me, it seems like the Democratic Party slid more left, and the Republican Party slid more left too. And it's almost like the Republicans of today are really the Democrats of yesterday, kind of a way. It kind of feels that way anyway.
It is.
And I mean, if you look at 2006, it makes sense why.
Yes.
Because you had a lot of Democrats flipping and flopping over to the other side.
And actually, in 2006, our elected officials now did run as Democrats.
Yeah.
And I think in 2008 and 2008 and 2010, that's when they started switching over.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like I say, in my opinion, they switched to get a vote, and that's not me. I'm not going to do that.
I understand.
Plus, I'm also one that believes that, you can have opposing parties.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually get a better government because you've got opposing ideas, but they don't have to be ideas that are going to separate you completely. You can work through your ideas to come to a better solution.
Sure. It's about the collective gathering of ideas.
Yeah.
And we've got to be willing to open up to not just two parties, but everybody.
Exactly.
And so, Mr. Whitman, tell me, let's talk about Tyler County, okay?
Yes, sir.
First of all, Jacques Blanchette has been the judge here for years, since 2006.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you feel like are the areas that Tyler County needs improvement in?
The county itself, or the county? Well, there's several ways to answer that. The citizens of Tyler County have a lot of faith, trust, and what they feel is leadership in the county. But also, we are lacking in trying to bring businesses or to help the county grow. We're stuck in this area where they think that we're Mayberry. Well, we're not. If you're just going to stay that Mayberry or a retirement community, we will never survive. So we need to start working on trying to get our infrastructure built up, trying to make ourselves more inviting to people to come here. So if we can get the people to come here, then we can start maybe getting some businesses. Now, we don't want to be large like Lufkin and Livingston or anything like, or Lumberton, but we need to grow to some extent to try to keep our youth here, because without our youth, we're just going to dry up and die, because we're not going to survive as a retirement community, not at the way we're going right now.
And at this moment, I guess the population here is over 50%.
50% elderly, yes.
Elderly.
The majority, at least 50% of the population is 65 or over.
Okay.
Roughly,
which is a problem.
Which is a problem because their taxes are frozen.
Right.
Now, you say their taxes are frozen, yes, but there are certain things that their taxes are going to go up on, such as school or the hospital. But there again, too, not just 50% of the population are elderly, but you got roughly 15% of the population are disabled, and then you got roughly 19% of the population lives in poverty.
Right.
So those are some hindrances. So if we could at least work on our infrastructure to help build our infrastructure up, then maybe we can start attracting more people. Okay. And by attracting more people, then we can start getting more businesses, because you got to have the population there that would be able to work in the businesses, for one thing. So helping with your infrastructure, that's going to help a lot. Okay.
So what's the first thing with infrastructure? Because infrastructure is a large topic. But what would like say November 9th, okay? You get your hand raised, you're the winner.
Right.
What's the first items on your agenda as it pertains to infrastructure?
Obviously, we need internet.
Okay.
That would be one of them. Part of the problem is we live in the country, and with the country, internet, you have to have line of sight. But you can at least get better internet into the cities, like in Woodville and Chester and Warren and Coleman, to name a few. So you could get some type of internet to help with that. But you can also help with your water, and possibly get some sewer out there as well. Okay. And believe it or not, part of the infrastructure bill also helps with, and I know you just wanted one of the first things, but there's several things.
There's a couple of things.
There is. One of the ones, with us being a county of 50% elderly, we could get a busing system or some buses to help drive the elderly to their doctors down in Beaumont or Livingston, or in Livingston and Beaumont. Get some for their doctors and actually to the hospitals and stuff. But we also need to get better ambulances. We only have 2 ambulances in the entire county.
Really? So y'all have the same problem we have over in Newton?
Yes, we do. And we're over 900 miles for the county. I live 3 miles outside of Spurger. The ambulances are typically based here in Woodville. It's going to take at minimum of 35 minutes to get an ambulance there. So it's a life or death situation. 35 minutes is just entirely too long.
Absolutely.
So that's some of the things I would like to work on to begin with.
So tell me a little bit about your experience. Who, because we don't know each other.
Right.
I mean, you could have been you could have been you could have been working in politics all my life, and we have never crossed paths. So what's kind of your story a little bit?
I've always been interested in politics or government, but I've just never gotten into it. I often feel that I have trained for this job my whole life unintentionally, just because of some of the jobs that I've had. I've worked construction for a good part of my life. I've been in supervision. My daddy had owned Dogwood Oil and Lube, and so back in the early 2000s, I helped him operate that. So I've got some business experience. I've been a volunteer fireman. When I've worked in the refineries, I went through hazmat, so I've got some experience that would help me towards being an emergency management director, which are two of the things that you have to. As far as my other jobs, I've dealt a lot with problem resolution. So if there's problems, being a senior supervisor for GAF, if there was a problem job, I would be the one that would have to go out there and deal with it, and deal with people that were upset. So you have to find ways to talk to people and calm them down. And typically what I would do, I would just find something common that we have an interest in, and we can start talking. When we become friends, then I'm able to get more of what you need.
Right.
And they not always be happy with the outcome, but at least we can start working together to resolve the issues.
Sure.
Like being a supervisor at Ameripol Simpo down in Port, which it's no longer, well, it still is Ameripol Simpo down in Port Neches. I dealt with a lot of things, and there were times that it was emergency, so you'd have to just jump right on it, but you would have to have some sort of plan.
Right.
And I have a way of building a team, so I mean, you don't have to know everything about the job, but if you can build a team, and let the team do the work for you, but let them do it, not you. You don't want to be a micromanager. Right. You put a team there, and you expect them. You tell them what you need, and let them get it done.
One of the things that's always been said, there's two things kind of run synonymous in conversation a lot of times, especially around water coolers and stuff like that, is Southeast Texas and corrupt politics and government. Do you feel like Tyler County has dealt with corruption, or what do you feel like is the main source of kind of maybe the stagnation, if you will, kind of like what you alluded to?
I'll put it this way: there's a lot of the good old boy syndrome here in Tyler County. I'm not saying that they're corrupt or anything like that, by no means.
Sure.
But I mean, they're a good old boy. Let's just put them in.
Right.
That's what Tyler County has a lot of. It's good to be a good old boy, but I mean, you also got to be able to step outside the box and do what's right for the county and do what's right for the citizens, and not just for your friends. Yeah. I think there's a lot of that goes on in Tyler County.
So you would say Tyler County has more of a cliquish type of thing going on in the government?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you feel if you were going to do a report card for Judge Blanchett? What would your report card say? Because, I mean, here's the thing. There's one thing that, now granted, unless there's just some experiences out here in the public that I'm not aware of.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Blanchett has kept kind of I guess you might say a dignity about himself in a way.
Yes. Judge Blanchett, as far as describing him, I mean, he is a man of dignity. He is a man of faith. He is a man that has always tried to do the right thing. He would be a great mentor for any job, for any person that came in as that judge, because he has had the experience. In fact, he mentors other judges all the time. He's probably the longest serving judge in in the counties, surrounding counties, as it is now. So he's a very knowledgeable person. The last couple of years, I think he's tried to do what he could, but there's been such division between the commissioners and what he's trying to do that he's just not been effective. Not that it was his fault, not that it was the commissioner's fault, but that they just didn't see eye to eye on things, and we just weren't getting things accomplished. But I think overall, he's done a very good job.
Okay. So let's take you and put you in that role.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you, if there has been division, and I think you had mentioned, are all the commissioners, are they all Republicans?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
I don't mean to interrupt you. I am the only Democrat that has run for office. I mean, there was a person that ran for commissioner 4 years ago, but as far as a Democrat, but typically I'm the only Democrat that ran for a public office this term for the county, and I can't remember the last time a Democrat did run other than 4 years ago when one ran for commissioner precinct 4.
So I guess my question is, if the Republicans can't get on the same page in the same courthouse, how do you as a Democrat leader bring together unity amongst Republicans and your vision?
I'm one that believes I like to listen to everybody's point of view. And like I said earlier, previously, I have dealt with problem resolutions. We can just find something common to talk about. That's what I think we're lacking now. Nobody wants to talk because they're just so fed up or angry because they're not getting their agendas met. But if we can just sit and talk peacefully, we can, and just to figure out that, hey, we need to, while we may not agree on everything, we've got to come together and at least work for the county, work together for the county, if nothing else. And like I say, I will talk to anybody about anything, whether we disagree or not.
Okay.
And let's have a little discussion. So just have some discussions and let's just talk it out. That's why I think it's good to have opposing sides sometimes, because then you can find better ways to work things out. But I mean, I've always been able to just talk to anybody and come to some sort of resolution to where we can at least be civil with each other and work together. I mean, as a supervisor, there was people that didn't like me because I was a supervisor or because I had ways of doing things and they had it different, but we'd at least sit down and work through it. And these are people that really didn't like me a whole lot. One of my jokes is I've got 7 grandkids. If I can work with my 7 grandkids, I can work with the commissioners and get things done. If I have to put you in timeout, I'll put you in timeout. No, I'm just joking on that part. Right. But I mean, there are ways to be civil with each other and at least work together. And that's, like I said, that's something I've always been, for some reason, I've just had that knack to be able to work with people.
Yeah. Okay. So yesterday started early voting.
Yes, sir.
And how's it looking on your end?
That I don't know. We don't know who's voting.
Obviously they're not going to tell you, but
right.
I mean, just kind of your thought from looking at who's showing up to the polls. I mean, does it seem like you got some? I've
got a 1 in 3 chance of winning this thing. I like to say, it's like Yogi Bear says, it's not over till the fat lady sings.
Well, that's true, but one of the interesting parts is, you referred to FDR and JFK. But didn't say that you said you were a Democrat along that pace.
Yes, sir.
And that kind of differentiates between the Obama-Biden type of world,
yes,
on some level in a lot of people's minds.
Yes,
right?
Yes, sir.
And so you kind of, in a way, you're kind of the throwback,
yes, sir,
era of Democrat instead of this more modernized, ultra progressive,
yes,
end
sir,
of things.
And
or at least that's what it seems like.
And it is. There are, like I said, this is typically a retirement community, and up until 2006, we were predominantly Democrat. But we've had numerous candidate forums and meet and greets, and I've attended every one of them. I'm the only candidate that has attended every one of them since except for one. I'll take that back. All except for one. Starting before the primaries up until we had one last Thursday, I have attended every one but one. And the only reason I couldn't attend that one was I was in Midland on that particular one, and it just so happened it was in my hometown. So the one I wanted to meet. But people are realizing that I am a conservative Democrat. I am not the far left type Democrat, and that is starting. They're seeing that, and they're seeing that I'm not the type of Democrat that our current politicians are now, and a lot of them has made the comment, well, it looks like I'm going to be voting for a Democrat, which is fine for me, fine with me. I mean, I like that, but even when I was campaigning, I said, and I would be talking to Democrats, don't vote for me because I'm a Democrat. Vote for me because you believe what I'm saying. And a lot of people have told me that throughout this campaign. So I think I've got a 1 in 3 chance, and I think it's an honestly 1 in 3 chance.
Right. So you feel like infrastructure is the first thing you guys need to put your hands on?
That would be one of them, yes, sir. And we're talking infrastructure. There's one thing besides infrastructure. One thing I've talked about recently is getting an economic development advisory team together, which would be getting people from our citizens, our business owners. But I actually want to use students in the 11th and 12th grade students, because they know what they need when it comes to staying here in Tyler County and things as far as businesses. But we can get them involved at an early age to where they can be, because they're going to be our future leaders, and we want to build this county for them, so they better than us know what they need. I mean, the adults, yes, we know that you need businesses and things like that as far as economic development. And one of the first starting points would to go back to the economic development plan that was done for Tyler County back in 2016. And a lot of things were mentioned about the Interstate 14 coming through here. And they were talking about building a convention center and an ATV park and things like that. But like I say, by getting the youth involved, that's going to help guarantee our survival, because like I say, they know more than anything. And I know that's for the economic development plan, but that's something I would want to start doing on November 9th, because the other part on the infrastructure, that's something I can't really start until after January 1st. But the economic development plan, I can go ahead and start putting that together now. And I've already talked to several people about doing that, as well as some of the superintendents, as far as picking out the best and brightest students that they have there. And by them picking out just 1 or 2 students, they can talk to their friends at school, and they can come up with a collection of ideas that would help. And they would be taken very seriously in that part, because while the elderly are our history and the best of us, the youth are our future, and they can be the best of us. But we've just got to show them that we care about them and that we're serious, and put them with adults that are of the same mindset.
Okay. So if you were going to distill, to use one of my favorite words, if you were going to distill your campaign into 3 points, 3 bullet points for the public, what would they be? And I'm not sure if I understand exactly, but I'll try to answer it the way I think. Well, let's just position it like this. How would you, for a person who lives in Tyler County, who does not know you, and your objective is to earn their vote?
I want to promote Tyler County, for one thing. Tyler County is full of so much history that people don't even think about. We've got Governor Shivers' house over here just down the road. We've got the Wheat House. We've got the courthouse. We've got Beach Creek Baptist Church, which is which is the oldest active church in Tyler County that still keeps records. They just celebrated their 167th wedding anniversary as a church. We've got Heritage Village. You've got a house out in Chester that's one of the oldest houses in Tyler County. You've got all of these historical cemeteries and stuff. So one thing I'd want to promote Tyler County is an historical destination. We could turn Woodville here into an historical district. So I would want to promote us as an historical destination, but we're 15 minutes from the casino. Woodville is actually closer to the casino than Livingston is. So if we could build up our infrastructure, then we can start getting better hotels, and we can start advertising for people to come to Tyler County because we're closer. And once we get them here, then we can start letting them know about all of the historical things that they can do here. But we're also the gateway to the lakes. You typically have to go through Tyler County to get to one of the to one of the lakes here. So that's some things that we can do to promote ourselves that way. I want to move us forward. I want to start getting things for the youth to do, because we lose so many of our youth that go out leave the county to go and work and live eventually. But if we can get our infrastructure going, then we can start getting more people here, and then we can start attracting businesses. We're fixing to have Highway 69 is going to be coming through Tyler County. Interstate 14, which is in the works, is going to be coming through Tyler County. Now these things are not going to take place overnight. It's going to be over a longer period of time, but you've got to start doing those things now in preparing for the future. You've got to look ahead. You can't just look from here to there. I mean, to the next day, because it's going to take 10 years probably for interstate, at least before Interstate 14 comes through here. But part of that economic development plan in 2016 actually addressed that, where you could start putting businesses along there, and you could start putting businesses along there now. Yeah, that would help. I mean, I would love to see more grocery stores, but with a population like us, a little over 21,000 roughly, and not much of an infrastructure, you're not going to get any different grocery stores or big stores like that. But
well, you also struggle with this, with the standpoint. Not only do you have people who have their 50% of your population, according to what you're saying, has frozen taxes.
Yes, sir.
But not only that, a high percentage of that 50% is going to be on very fixed income.
Yes.
And so that, how do they refer to it? That free or excess money floating around.
Yeah, we don't have.
There is no excess money.
And when you say fixed income, you have to realize if you've retired, you're getting Social Security and you're getting your retirement if you happen to have a job that offered retirement.
Yeah.
But you are still living on a fixed income. That's all you have coming in.
100%.
That's why by working on our infrastructure, trying to build our infrastructure up. And when I keep saying the infrastructure, but a lot of people may not realize it, but there was an infrastructure bill passed in 2020, right after Biden, or 2021, right after Biden took office. The state of Texas is getting $35 billion over the next 5 years to help with your infrastructure. A lot of it will be in grants, but we can start getting those grants to help building up our infrastructure, and then we can start attracting the younger families here, which is what's going to help us.
Yeah,
Know.
absolutely.
But yeah, the fixed income part is tough.
It's a challenge.
But there's also, I know there's talk in the legislation, or there has been previously, and I believe it's going to be in this next legislation as well, that they're talking about buying down your property values to help with your property taxes, but also going up on a sales tax. Now, a lot of people are hearing tax, but it's a sales tax, which means that anybody that goes to the store and buys anything is going to be paying for that sales tax. So it's going to take, if somebody's just driving through the county and they stop and buy gas, or they stop at the grocery store or buy some food or something, they're going to be taxed on it. So anybody that comes into this county is going to be taxed. So that's going to take some of the burden off of your homeowners. But
in the long run, nobody looks at it like that. Nobody is that dialed in. All they're looking at is they're charging us 10% on tax, and we have to pay this every week. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I mean, on the flip side, I get it.
Right.
I pay taxes on my property. I pay sales tax. When you're in business, you pay about 20 different taxes that you shouldn't have to pay, I don't think. But unfortunately, if we could, it's kind of like Jasper, kind of like Newton County. Everybody we're all kind of cousins in this thing.
Exactly.
And we all have some of the same elements, same elements at work. And it is a good thing to take advantage of the money that's traveling through.
Yes, sir.
Because, that's going to hopefully help lighten some of that burden as they move forward with some of that legislation.
And talking to some other judges, they're in agreement with me. It's something that they would like to see. Yeah. They're probably not as vocal as I am,
sure.
But I don't have anything to lose.
Right.
But it's something I'm serious about. I have a tendency to think outside the box on things, and I think Tyler County needs somebody that's going to think outside the box. So,
Well, so November 8th is right around the corner.
yes, sir.
And where can people follow you or catch up with you or whatever? Do you have social media or website or anything like that?
I don't have a website. I mean, I do have a Facebook page,
Okay.
which is Wesley Whitman for Tyler County Judge.
Okay.
I typically, when I put posts there, it goes to my personal page, and I share it on my personal page. The next 2 weeks, obviously, I'm going to be down here in at the nutrition center.
Right.
And if they want to get a hold of me, they can call me on my cell phone.
Yeah.
Or, like I say, I just live 3 miles outside of Spurger. Or, and if they don't have my cell phone number, they can instant message me.
You're accessible.
I'm accessible, yes, sir.
Okay.
If it's all right, I can give my phone number out.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give it out.
My personal cell phone number is 409-790-7649. It's, unless my granddaughters are with me, I've got it with me 24/7. And I laughed about my granddaughters because there's on the weekends, a lot of times I will keep my granddaughters, and to keep them happy, they've got my phone. So that means Monday that I'm having to go around and apologize to people that, hey, that wasn't me that sent the text or posted on Facebook. That was my grandkids. And I'm joking about my grandkids, but I've got 7 grandkids. They are my life.
Sure.
And like I say, before I am affiliated with a party, I'm a family man.
Right.
A lot of times politicians will go to different areas, to schools and things like that for their homecomings, trying to make a show, but you won't see them after election time.
Right.
I don't typically do that. My kids, my grandkids, my nieces and nephews, we go to Spurger.
Yeah.
So I support my family there. Yes, I do support these other schools and things like that, but I support my family's very important to me, and so I support them first. But there's one thing I can promise you, though. If I get elected, I will be available 1,461 days. And that 1,461, that is a 4-year term for county judge. And I will be available 24/7.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Wesley Whitman. He is the Democrats' candidate for Tyler County. Is there any final words you want to throw out here to the people before we wrap up?
I hope that everyone at least gives me a consideration during this election, which started yesterday.
Sure.
And it continues to the 4th. And then on November 8th. If nothing else, I'm going to be true to you. I'm going to serve you. And if you have any questions, I'm going to tell you the truth. If I don't have the answer, I'm not going to make up an answer. I'll tell you I'm not sure, but I will find out, and you will get the truthful answer.
Yeah, very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Not on the Payroll right here at notonthepayroll.com. You can check us out at Facebook, check us out at YouTube, and check us out at Rumble. Tyler County, Wesley Whitman, he's an option for you. Definitely give him a consideration. He's a throwback Democrat. He's not one of these super progressive types. He's a family guy, and hey, good luck to you, sir, in your endeavors. And please let us know if we can be any further assistance.
Thank you for having me.